Hi friends, let's adjust a suit skirt together. So a suit skirt is one of the technical ready-made outfits you want to carefully adjust. The first thing you need to do is lay it flat on a table. After laying it flat, go ahead and measure your waist. The waist of this skirt is 36 and the waist of my client is 30. So that means I am taking 6 inches away. Then I would go ahead and measure the hip. The hip area is 23 times 2, making 46. It means that the hip area of the skirt is 46 inches wide, while the hip area of my client, hip circumference, that is round the hip, is 40. So I'll be taking 6 inches away from the hip too. So the next thing you're going to go ahead and do is to take out the piped waist area. You have to loosen that part. So I'm loosening it with a seam ripper. Sorry, it wasn't so clear. You go ahead and loosen the seams there or the thread with a seam ripper. Do not use a razor blade. I'd gone ahead to take it out. After loosening it, you could see that we have just the suit lining and the fabric. The band is off. I also went ahead to loosen the hem of the skirt a little bit. I loosened the side seam of both sides of the skirt a little bit because the adjustment will start from the waist all the way to the hem of the skirt. Make sure whatever you're loosening at the hem of the skirt is up to a little bit more than what you want to take in. So afterwards, I went ahead to reconfirm my waist measurement. So I'm taking away 6 inches. Yes. So if I'm taking away 6 inches, it basically means that I would sew in 1.5 inch allowance on both sides. 1.5 inch allowance will be chalked on the right side of the side seam, and then 1.5 inch allowance will be chalked on the left side of the side seam, as you can see. So 1.5 in 4 places gives me 6, which makes the 6 that needs to be taken in to give the skirt the proper waist measurement of the client. I hope you understand me. Go ahead and take out whatever needs to be taken out on the hip. For me, I'll be taking out 6 inches in total from the hip circumference. So 6 inches in total divided by 4 is 1.5. So I'll be chalking out 1.5 on the right and 1.5 on the left. I went ahead to cross-check what I had left from the chalked point of the left to the chalked point of the right, and it was accurately what I needed left. So go ahead and take the same allowance on the hem of the skirt, like I'm doing. So I went ahead to take that same deductions on the hem of the skirt. Afterwards, make sure to proceed to, if you can't use a free hand, you can use a ruler like I did. So I'm using a curvy ruler, not a straight one, to create to connect the point and create the curves that needs to be created on the skirt. As you can see in this video, do not use a straight ruler and avoid sharp edges. If you can't sew with a free hand, try and blend in or trace out what you want to sew with a chalk before you go ahead and sew. Afterwards, I'm still blending in here just to avoid sharp corners when I'm done sewing or while I'm sewing. Afterwards, whatever you've taken on the fabric should also be taken on the lining, because the lining and the fabric are the same measurement. So go ahead and I would also go ahead and chalk out the 1.5. I did that off camera. So taking out the same deductions on the lining, 1.5 on both sides of the side seams for the waist area, the hip area, and the hem area, just as it is on the main fabric. Afterwards, I went back to the sewing machine and I had to sew on what I had carved out. After doing that, I flipped it to the right side to show you what is left. If you notice it, you see that it's a little bit smaller than what it was initially. Afterwards, I would go back and re-sew the band, the piped band. I would go ahead and sew it. That is what I'm showing you here. So go ahead and sew it on 0 points. This is about 0.25. That was what was sewn in initially. So I went ahead and sewed on that same allowance round again. So afterwards, as you can see, I'm done sewing, and look at how clean it comes out. The next thing you are going to go ahead and do, in case your band, the band for the piping is longer than expected, you can go ahead and sew it in or cut it off to avoid issues. Sorry, I didn't do that on camera. Afterwards, go ahead and conceal it the way I've concealed it in the video to give it a clean finishing. Go ahead and conceal it like this. After you must have done that, you would have such clean look like this.